So we're in Fresno, California. We just finished installing a 40-gallon Bradford White natural gas water heater. Model number's right here. Serial number is the URG240T6N. Serial number the PM406-40850. Anyways, go ahead and you can go to bradfordwhite.com. There might be documentation here that you can fill out and mail to them. I just would go to bradfordwhite.com, give them the model, serial number, name, street address, phone number, all that kind of stuff. Get your warranty going on this tank. Anyways, what we did, as we told the homeowner, we're going to come in here and do some repiping in this area. What we opted to do is go ahead and build a new platform and bring it out away from the wall. The old one was a little half-inch piece of plywood and some steel legs. Didn't take a video of it, but the homeowner knows exactly what it was. And so what we built here is a full framed stand with additionally another full frame in the middle. So what we've got, you can see around the perimeter, you know, double studs. There are 4 walls that we built. So 4 separate little walls. We built this wall, little wall, little 4. So 4 walls, nailed them all together, and then added structure on each end. 1, 2, same thing in the back, 3, 4. So it's solid. Additionally, you can see it's all green plate where it touches cement, which is required. That's good. In the middle, we put another piece of green plate and then a plate on top of it to tie the two together. And then we built another pony wall. So if you look up in here, you can see in the middle, it's another full, there's 2 2x4s up there, just like you frame walls in a home. Same thing around the perimeter. You can see two 2x4s locked in, overlapping. That's the way it gets built. And that's the same thing in the middle. The reason why is all the weight's in the middle. You know, we've got the water heater offset just a little bit, but all the weight of the water heater sits in the middle. So you can see the majority right now, the tank sits in about here. This is a solid 2x4 wall, solid 2x4 wall. Middle, solid 2x4 wall. So you're in great shape. We did go ahead and put a piece of OSB board in here just to keep the platform square. And then on top of that, we put a piece of hardy backer board, the cement board. It's moisture proof. In the event you ever get, you know, anything drips on this stuff, this absorbs the moisture real nice, as opposed to the OSB board that just swells up and molds and whatnot. So that's good. 40-gallon tank. We replaced the gas valve like we said we would. We put in a brand new supply line like we said we would. We put in this lower and upper strap. That's lower third and upper third strap, as per code and per contract, so that's good. Up here, we went ahead and like we said, we put in a brand new Watts quarter turn, 3/4 inch full port ball valve. So quarter turn off, quarter turn on, and those typically we never have trouble with these. So when you want to shut it down, off, on, good to go. We did take the hot all apart, gave you a new riser, little 90, little nipple, and then tied it in with a Falcon stainless steel connector. Over to the hot side, we got brass on the tank. You know, we didn't have a lot of couplings on our truck, so we just used brass. They're more expensive, no big deal, but brass coupling, brass nipple, that tied in, so this is all rubber gaskets in here. We've checked it, everything looks good. Same thing on the cold side, you can see brass coupling, brass nipple down to the tank, and again, we've checked all this, everything looks good, no moisture, nothing dripping. And then another Falcon stainless steel connector goes over here and ties into another piece of pipe. This is all brand new. I think it's an 18 peach spell check, 18-inch piece of pipe, back over to a 90, short little nipple, and then the valve. So this is ours as well. This is your piping down here. So the 90 and the nipple, 90 and the nipple, we don't want to touch that stuff. That's our pipe, 90, pipe, stainless steel connector, pipe, ball valve, pipe, 90, pipe, stainless steel connector, down to the pointy connection. We did reinstall your ground wire, which is too small, by the way. That should be a number 10 wire, but it's like a number 14, something like that. Maybe even a 12, but it should be like a 10 or an 8. But that's up to you. This here, relief valve comes with the unit. You activate it, water comes out the side of the building right there. We did abandon the old one. There's where it was at. And if you remember, on your side yard, there was a piece of pipe about 18 inches long that was covered in stucco. As a matter of fact, we had to reuse it down here. You can see it was right there. So that meant that the water was terminating about 4 foot off the ground, which means if hot water ever came out of this unit and someone was standing, they're going to get sprayed. Code, it's got to be between 6 inches and 24 inches off the ground for the relief line. So we went ahead and ran it for you. That was not in the contract, but we got it in for you. This pipe that was sticking out, we went ahead and just cut it, siliconed the inside, silicone the outside where the 90's at. It's just going to sit there, okay? That's the way that it was before. It was stubbing through the wall, and now it's just cut off. So we can't do anything with that. I would recommend just leave it. Otherwise, you got to patch the wall, and you already got new stucco in there, so just leave that in there because that's the way it was. We went ahead and put in our own piping over to here. Got a union so you can break it apart in case you need to uninstall the water heater at some point. Over to 90. We tied all these together because we weren't prepared to reconfigure your discharge line. We didn't have any on the truck, so we reused your existing piping. This is a piece of piping that was on the hot water side. This is a piece that was sticking outside of the building. That piece down there is brand new. We had that on our truck. That's from Ferguson. So we just put some couplings, put it together. Little 90 at the bottom. You can't see it because it's dark. We siliconed all around this side. And then on the outside, we silicone as well. We'll go out there in a minute. Last thing we did up here, went ahead and put on brand new single wall vent up to the existing pipe that's stubbing to the roof. Now, that was just free floating in there. And what we did, you can see if you look up here when you get back, you might be able to see with the camera, those straps are now screwed to the vent pipe. So it's not going to fall down out of there anymore. And then up here you can see a screw right there, screw around the corner. So this is screwed in. You can see 3 screws around this joint, and then at the bottom at the draft diverter. So that's all screwed together. The burner is lit. Right now you're at 120. I would recommend leaving it right there. If you have temperature issues in the home, it's not the water heater. Do not turn this up. You can see scalding risk increases with hotter water. This is approximately 120, 130, 140, 150, 160. At 140, you get 3rd degree burns. In 3 seconds, you're going to the hospital. I believe the new owners have a baby on the way. Right there's what you want. If you have trouble in the home, you got a fixture that is crossing water by itself, such as a single handle faucet, tub shower valve, and then it's just a cartridge replacement. So go ahead and do that, but don't turn that water up. Very dangerous. So outside here, I'll show you what it looks like. Before we had that long pipe that was covered in the stucco, same color as the home, that was sticking out down to here. Okay, so you can see it's up there, and it had a piece of pipe that was sticking down to about here, about this far out, about 8 inches off the wall. So you walk out here, you're standing here, water shoots out, that's 120 degree right on you, and it's bad. So like I said, you can see we siliconed it closed on the outside because there was no silicone on it. So we siliconed it. That's not our pipe. This is a point of courtesy. We put some silicone. You shouldn't have a problem because it's under an eave, but in the event you get moisture on the wall, it's silicone both sides of the wall. And so here's where we've terminated right here. Drilled a brand new hole outside of your home. Went ahead and reused the same 90 that was up above before. Put a little nipple in there and screwed it in. You have to cut the threads off because otherwise you could cap this off and that would be very dangerous. So you got to cut the threads off. So now this is your point of termination for your relief line. You activate it, water spits on the ground, you're good to go. That's siliconed all the way around, and like I told you, on the inside it's silicone as well, so that'll help seal that pipe. Everything looks good here. Water heater's lit, a couple hours. I know you're out of town, but a couple hours you'll have hot water. We can't go into the home and test it. We weren't given permission to. We were given permission to go into the garage. We certainly have a key to get into the home, but they did not give us permission to go into there. So when you get back, obviously you're going to have some air in the lines, which means when you open up the hot water faucets, you're going to get a lot of spraying. Don't worry about that. It will clear. Most of the pressure or the air was taken out when we activated the relief valve. And so most of the air should be gone, but you will get some inside the home. Additionally, we use a sniffer to detect gas leaks. We sniffed all of our fittings, the 90, the shutoff valve, the connector here, and the connector here. Green light on everything, so no gas leaks. And again, we replaced that because the old one was a spin through, and those are notorious for leaking after you start working on them. We did leave everything else in place. This is one solid stand. Super, super, super solid. And I hope you like that stand. That'll last forever and ever and ever. The building might fall over, but that stand's still going to be there. One block, one strap, as far as we can get down there with this big cabinet in the way. But it's strapped secure, tied in. Everything is good. Outside of that, this installation is done.